Usually we'd start a conversation like this with some big idea, some kind of hook. But today, I feel like I need to start somewhere quieter, more personal. I want to start in a bathroom. Maybe yours, maybe mine.
The bathroom. Yep.
Yeah, it's late, maybe 11 p.m. You've washed your face, you're looking in the mirror, and on the outside, you look fine. You look put together, you look like the person who handled everything that day. But inside, there's this little tremor.
The tremor.
It's not a big thing, it's not a panic attack, it's just this quiet, splintering feeling in your chest. And the really scary part isn't the feeling itself. It's that you're staring at your own reflection, feeling this crack. And your immediate instinct is to just tighten up.
To smooth it over.
Yes, to look away from your own eyes.
Because if you look too long, you might actually fall apart.
Exactly. And I think that's what I really want to unpack today, this whole idea of holding it together.
Yeah.
Why we build this armor, this strong one identity. What is the cost of wearing it all the time?
I think the cost is steeper than we ever admit. Because we're not just talking about stress, are we? We're talking about a kind of a deep disconnection from ourselves.
Right. So that identity, the strong one, I mean, I know it so well. I think a lot of us do. You're the one who doesn't break, the reliable one. And sometimes it feels like I've worn that suit of armor for so long, I don't even know what my own skin feels like anymore. Even my breathing feels rehearsed, like I'm performing calm.
It's interesting you use the word armor.
Yeah.
Because it is. It protects you. It keeps the arrows out, for sure. But it also keeps the air out. It keeps touch out. And that feeling you're describing, that tremor in the mirror, I just want to say, that isn't weakness. It's not you failing. It's survival.
I hear that. And it sounds good to say. But in the real world, it feels like failure. If I let that tremor become a full-on quake in a meeting, I lose. I lose credibility. Things don't get done if I fall apart. So isn't the armor, isn't it necessary?
For survival, yes. Absolutely, it got you here.
Yeah.
But for living, no. And I think that's the core paradox, really. The moment we decide we're not allowed to be broken, that's the moment we start to disappear.
Disappear.
Little by little. Your laughter becomes just a bit of a performance. Your silence becomes a vault where you hide everything that's real. And after a while, you're just a ghost in your own life, watching it happen from a distance.
A ghost in your own life. Wow, that's a terrifying thought. But why is the fear so big? Why does admitting I'm not okay feel like it would just break everything?
Because of the question that's hiding right underneath that, the one we're all so afraid to ask out loud.
Which is?
If I admit I'm broken, will I still be worthy?
Oof. Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Will I still belong? Will I still be loved? We value resilience, but only the clean kind, the kind that bounces back quickly. We don't like the messy kind.
Yeah.
The real kind. But real resilience isn't about being flawless.
Yeah.
It's about being fully, messily human.
Okay, so let's talk about the cost of that hiding, the disappearing. Because it's not just a feeling, is it? It's physical.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
You can't separate them. The body is the scorekeeper. The body always remembers what the mind tries to deny. You can say, I'm fine all day long, but look at your shoulders. Are they up around your ears? Are you clenching your jaw when you sleep? That knot in your stomach when someone asks, hey, how are you doing?
And the automatic answer is just, good. Busy.
Yeah.
Crazy busy, but good.
Right. The busy but good defense. It's classic. And that little lie, because it is a lie, that's where the erosion starts. We think we're just being low maintenance, but survival isn't the same as living. When you spend all your energy holding the door shut on your pain, you're also holding it shut on your joy.
Yeah.
You can't numb selectively.
That makes so much sense. It explains that feeling of being gray. Not horrible, just muted. Like the volume on my life is turned way down.
Muted is the perfect word. And from my perspective, we don't judge that hiding. We just get curious about it. We ask, what is this wholeness you're working so hard to protect?
I guess the version of me that gets things done, the me that's functional.
But here's the radical idea. What if brokenness isn't the opposite of wholeness? What if it is a part of wholeness? Brokenness isn't failure, it's contact. Contact with reality, with loss, with the truth that you are a limited human being, not a machine. And when we try to suppress that contact, it leaks.
Leaks? How do you mean?
That flicker of irritability at someone you love, the bone-deep exhaustion on a Sunday night, that sudden wave of tears that comes out of nowhere during a commercial. That's your brokenness trying to get your attention. It's not trying to destroy you. It's just asking to be seen.
Okay, so how? How do we actually do this? How do we hide? Because it's not just one thing, it feels like a whole system.
It is. It's a system of interruptions.
Yeah.
Think of it like a natural cycle in your body, let's say. Hunger. First you feel a sensation, a rumbling, then awareness. Oh, I'm hungry. Then you mobilize energy, you get up, you make a sandwich, you make contact, you eat. And then satisfaction. The cycle is complete.
Simple enough.
But with our feelings, we get stuck. We have the awareness, I am sad, I am angry. But we interrupt the cycle. We stop ourselves from moving, from expressing, from making contact with the feeling.
It's like emotional constipation.
And a soft chuckle. That's a very direct way of putting it. But yes, we stop the flow. And we use these very specific, patterned ways of doing it. I like to think of them as old maps.
Maps.
Yeah, maps of where you've been hurt before. They show the dangerous territory you learn to avoid.
Okay. I want to hear about these maps. I have a feeling I'm going to recognize the landscape.
I think we all do. The first one is called retroflexion.
Retroflexion, what is that?
It's when you turn an impulse that was meant for the outside world, inward, against yourself. You take the energy that wants to go out, a shout, a cry for help, and you turn it in.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. You're in a meeting, and your boss says something deeply unfair. The natural impulse is to speak up, to defend yourself. But it doesn't feel safe. So what do? You literally bite your tongue, you clench your jaw, maybe you dig your fingernails into your palm.
Wow, I do the fingernail thing all the time.
That's retroflexion.
Yeah.
You are physically holding back the anger. And the result, over time, is chronic tension, headaches,
Yeah.
self-criticism. You become the target for your own anger because it wasn't safe to aim it where it belonged.
So my tension headache is an unsent email.
Often, yes. The next map is confluence.
Okay.
Confluence is when you blur the boundary between you and someone else to avoid conflict. It's the people pleaser, the chameleon.
Like, where should we eat? I don't care, whatever you want.
Exactly. Or saying, I'm fine when you're hurt, because saying I'm hurt would create a separation between you and the other person. And for someone in confluence, that separation feels dangerous. So you erase your own needs to keep the peace.
The don't rock the boat strategy. I might have a
Yeah.
PhD in that.
A soft chuckle.
Yeah.
Many of us do. It works until you wake up one day and have no idea what you actually want for dinner or for your life.
Ouch. Okay, number 3.
Projection. This is when we disown a part of ourselves and we see it everywhere in other people.
So if I'm secretly feeling insecure, I think everyone else is judging me.
That's one way. Or another common one. If you've had to shut down your own heart, if you've decided, I don't need anyone, you might look at someone else expressing a need and see them as needy or dramatic.
So when I get annoyed at a friend for being too emotional, it might just be me being envious that they're allowed to feel.
It's possible. We often judge in others what we've had to exile in ourselves. It's a way to engage with the feeling from a safe distance.
That's humbling. Okay, what's the last one?
Deflection. This is a modern favorite. It's using humor or intellect or abstract ideas to dog a raw feeling.
I feel seen right now. That's my go-to. If things get too heavy, I make a joke.
It's a reflex, isn't it? Or it can be intellectualizing. Well, psychologically speaking. Or spiritual bypassing. Everything happens for a reason.
Oh, I cannot stand that one. It feels so dismissive when you're in pain.
Because it is. It's a way to talk about the pain instead of speaking from the pain. You turn your experience into a topic for discussion so you don't have to feel it.
We're brilliant at this stuff.
Yeah.
At dodging.
We are, and we have to honor that. These defenses, these maps, they were brilliant adaptations. They kept you safe when you needed them. But the landscape has changed, the old danger might be gone, and now the armor that protected you is cutting you off from the world.
So how do we even begin to take it off? Because my first instinct is to analyze it, to make a plan to fix it.
And that's the trap, you see. Analysis is often just another, more sophisticated form of deflection. You can't think your way out of a feeling problem. The invitation is to move from the head into the body, to shift from analyzing why am I like this to just witnessing what is happening right now.
Okay, so what does that actually look like?
Let's try it. Just for a moment. If you're listening, you can do this too. Just take a breath and scan your body, not to find a problem, just to notice the sensation. Find a place that feels tight or tense, your jaw, your stomach.
My chest. It's always my chest. That tightness from the beginning.
Okay. The first instinct is to try and relax it, right? To breathe it away. Don't do that. Instead, can you just place a hand on that spot?
Gently.
Okay. Hand on my chest.
And don't try to fix it. Just acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And quietly, inside, ask that tension a question. Ask it. What are you holding for me?
What are you holding for me?
And just listen. Not for words, necessarily. Maybe it's a feeling, a color, a memory.
It just feels heavy. So heavy, like I'm holding back tears, like a dam.
Just stay with that. Don't push it. You see, the goal isn't some big lightning bolt of insight. The goal is re-engagement. You're simply returning to the interrupted moment. You're allowing the cycle to find its way.
It reminds me of that idea of the inner child.
It's very connected. Imagine an 8-year-old drops a mug and it shatters. And an adult says, stop crying. It's not a big deal.
Right, and the kid learns. My feelings are an inconvenience. Swallow them. Exactly. The cycle is interrupted. So healing isn't about going back in time to fix the mug. Healing is you, the adult, sitting down with that 8-year-old part of you right now and saying, I see you. It's okay to cry. I'm right here. That's closing the loop.
That's powerful. But I have to be honest, there's a real fear there. If I actually sit with that and let the tears come, will they ever stop? Will I just drown?
That's the fear that keeps the armor locked in place. If I start screaming, I'll never stop. But let me offer a different image. What if surrendering to it isn't drowning? What if it's the first real breath you've taken in years?
It sounds peaceful, but it feels so dangerous.
Have you heard of the Japanese art of kintsugi?
Yeah, where they repair broken pottery with gold.
Exactly. Think about the philosophy there. They don't hide the break. They don't pretend it didn't happen. They highlight it. With gold, the break becomes the most beautiful part of the piece.
So the point isn't to erase the break.
The point is to honor it. For years, you've pushed your brokenness into the background. You've tried to blur it out. All we're doing now is gently bringing it into focus. Not to fix it, just to see it. And that leads to this idea of responsibility.
Say more about that. I liked how you broke that word up.
We think of responsibility as blame. It's my fault. But think of it as responsibility, the ability to respond. You're not broken because of what happened. You became broken in response to what happened. That tension, that silence. But that was a brilliant response at the time. It saved you. And now you have the ability to choose a new response.
So I'm not trapped by my old reactions. I can choose a new response today.
Exactly. And that new response might just be to stay with the feeling instead of running away.
You know, it's funny. We spend our lives trying to be whole, and it sounds like the only way there is through the broken parts.
Right. The myth of perfect wholeness is a cage. It keeps us striving for something that isn't real. When you finally open the door to that part of you that you've hidden away, you don't find a monster, you find a child, or a warrior, or a poet. And all they're saying is, I've been here the whole time, thank you for finally seeing me.
So as we kind of bring this to a close, I don't feel fixed, but I do feel shifted.
And that's the whole point. It's not about being fixed, it's about learning to be unfinished.
Unfinished, I like that. It takes all the pressure off.
So maybe a small experiment for you, for anyone listening. The next time someone asks you that simple question, are you okay?
Oh, the dreaded question, the I'm fine trigger.
Just notice the impulse. You don't have to tell your whole story to the cashier at the grocery store, but maybe to yourself or to a trusted friend.
Yeah.
You can try on a new truth. Something like, I'm broken, and I'm learning to let that be enough.
I'm broken, and I'm learning to let that be enough. That feels really honest and scary.
It is, but it lets you start living right now, in the cracks, instead of waiting for a day when you're perfect.
It makes me wonder, if brokenness is this rich, what other things that I call flaws are actually doorways?
That's the question to sit with. What if the light doesn't just come from the outside? What if the light gets in through the break?
That is a beautiful thought to end on. If you're listening and you feel that tremor, maybe just for today, you don't have to fix it. Maybe you can just be with it. Thank you for this.
Be gentle with yourselves.
We'll talk to you next time.